MRCI is the main energy.
The Migrant Rights Centre Ireland is the strength for all the migrant workers. It's making the powerless to become powerful.
We are fighting for freedom, for people to have their own choice, to have their own voice. Migrant Rights Centre was a teeny little organisation operating out of a often flooded basement, and yet they helped so many migrants in an incredibly effective way, but they always had a big vision.
When immigration started in Ireland in the late 90s, the state was unprepared for the large numbers that the state was receiving.
There were times when we had 14 and 15 different nationalities coming in here on the day.
What this centre was trying to do was to be countercultural in an economy that treated people as units of labour.
So within a very short period, migrant workers were brought from all over.
We really, I suppose, in the very early days, were a bridge between individuals and the state. And what we were trying to do in the early days, and still do, is show the state that there was an underbelly of exploitation going on that had to be continuously exposed and the mirror held up to the state and said, you cannot allow this to happen.
As the situation progressed in Ireland, we moved from that individual approach to a more collective and group approach.
You have to address the root causes of problems. You have to tackle the institutional and structural problems.
They have been particularly successful in highlighting especially those migrant workers who are here in very vulnerable positions, particularly as domestic workers and workers in the catering trade, who would be largely invisible otherwise.
We worked a lot with women employed in the private home. We could see, hang on a second, there's a kind of systematic exploitation going on. The way people are being recruited, the kinds of working conditions. The problem needs to be addressed at the root of it.
And we found out that loads of domestic workers was exploited by their employers. And we analyzed and studied out how this will gonna be resolved. And then we formed a domestic action group.
We felt that we would go out there and campaign and say, we want to be recognized as workers, just like any other workers.
It's about us coming together, and, seeing each other's potential. Some of the things that we think have been fantastic are their ability to demonstrate the power of community work in working with a very vulnerable group. And they've really highlighted the issue of migrant labour and the exploitation of migrant labour in the media.
The Migrant Rights Centre's work is very important, both their organising work, organising migrant workers to have a voice on the issues that affect them, and affecting government policy, legislation.
I went in asking for an advice. Now I've been transformed into an activist. I have the confidence to fight for my rights, fight for not only for my rights, for the other migrants' rights.